All right then, makes perfect sense. Let's go to the next one down. We're going to go down to the G. This is a 2-note away major second. This number 2 represents the second position in our scale of the Lydian scale, scale number 4, mode number 4, scale number 4, Lydian scale, and this number 2 represents the distance 2 notes away, which is the same as the main major. C major has a second that's also 2 notes away, as does the main minor, by the way, the Aeolian. For some reason, it's the Phrygian that's really more minor than the main minor, more minor than Aeolian. But we're looking at the major. So notice when I count in terms of chord construction, we skip every other note. So it's 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, and then we go to the 7, which is the last note in the scale, and then we go to the 9. So for our purposes, the 9 is equivalent to the 2, even though we're not talking about octaves. We're just going around in a circle. Just going around in a circle, just like we're doing in life here. We just go around in circles. No big deal. It's not nothing to get all worked up about. Just going around in circles. All right, so let's do, so now we're going to say, so we've got a 2-note away major second. So if I'm on the same string, then I can just count 2 up. So 2-note away major second from that F. Sounds like that. Purdy. All right, now if I go up a string, then I have to look for the inverse distance. It's inverse distance. So if it's 2 notes away and there's 12 notes, the circle has 12 notes, steps in it. And if I go one way around the circle, it's 2 steps, but I'm looking for the other way around the circles. 12 minus 2 would be 10 steps. So it's going to be -5 if I go up. I usually say between the 2 strings, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. So there it is. So I could say it's that G right there. G whiz. No, it's GF. Now if I go from top to bottom, that's going to be a, what do we call it? A 10-note away minor 7. 10-note away minor 7, the bluesy kind of thingy. But if I go from bottom to top, therefore, it's a 2-note away major second, remembering that the inverse of a major is a minor and the inverse of a minor is a major. That's just how things work. That's how it's done. That's how we see it, because that's how it is. So that means if I go up one string, the 2-note away major second is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets back, unless I cross the fault line, which is only going to happen one time if I'm on the B string. That's the only time I can cross that fault line. So if I was down here on the B string, what's going to happen? There's my G right here. It's further away. Why? Because this whole tectonic plate shifted to the right. It shifted to the right, so I have to swim across the ocean further to get to the location. I'm not going to make it because that's too far. My fingers can't even reach that far. Luckily, this is an open string, so I don't have to reach it. I can still play it open, but otherwise I would drown because I can't reach. So that's just out of reach. All right, so that's going to be right there. Let's go down. Let's go down one. I'm looking for the 2-note away major second, which is also the 2-note away major 9. So if I go down 1, that's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2. So it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2. If I count it up over here, there's the F. Where's the F? There's the F. 5, 4, 3, 2. So we're going F to G. So that's going to be, that means that if I go down one string, the 2-note away major second is always going to be 1, 2, 3 frets back unless I cross the fault line. And I can only cross the fault line if I was on the G string, because that's the only way I can go down one string and cross the fault line. So like if I was on that F and I cross the fault line and I'm looking for the G, because I'm looking for like a 2-note away major second, which is also like a 2-note away major 9, then it would only be 2 frets back. So the general rule is if I go down one string, the 2-note away major second, otherwise could be called the 2-note away major 9, is 1, 2, 3 frets back unless I cross the fault line, which can only happen one time on one string, the G string. And then if I go down one string, the 2-note away major second, which could also be called the 2-note away major 9, is only 2 frets back. Okay? Is that okay for me to say that? Or does that cause problems? Does that anger people? I feel like that should be something you're allowed to say. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. Let's go down another string. Let's say we go 3 strings down. It's going to be, we're looking for the 2 note away major second, 5, 10, 5, 10, 11, 12, or 0. If 12 minus 12 is 0, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's buckle that shoe. If you want to, I don't need to buckle my shoe. I've got shoelaces, but still, you get the same thing. You need to keep the shoe somewhat fastened to the foot. That's the point. Anyways, so we're going to say this is going to be 5, 10, 11, 12. There's the octave. 1, 2. Boom, there's the G. All right, G whiz. Gee whiz, man. So that means that if I go down 2 strings, the 2 note away major second, which could also be called the 2 note away major 9, is 1, 2, 3, 4 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, which could happen 2 of the strings, either in the D string or the G string. Otherwise, I'm good, right? Because if I was on this F up here, then it would still be, the 2 note away major second would still be 4 frets away. But like if I was on like this F instead, then like the 2 note away major second, which could also be called the 2 note away major 9, would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets forward. Also, if I was on like this string, we'd have a similar thing, but let's not do that because that's out of the picture. So that means that if I go down 2 strings, the 2 note away major second, which could also be called the 2 note away major 9, would be 1, 2, 3, 4 frets forward unless I cross the fault line, in which case the 2 note away major second, which could also be called the 2 note away major 9, would be 5 frets forward because this tectonic plate shifted up, and there's 2 exceptions to the rule that can happen on, which is like the D string and the G string. Okay, let's go down. Okay, I'm going to stop saying okay. Stop saying okay. You're not looking for approval. I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling you how it is. I'm not asking here. I know how it is, and I'm saying what it is. I don't care. I do care a little bit, but I'm trying not to because it's like distracting. So I'm going to go down 3 strings. Let's go down 3 strings. So it's going to be 5, 10, and then we shift up because of the tectonic plate shift to 15, and then 15 minus 12 is 3, minus 1 is 2. So let's count it this way. 5, 10, shifting up to 15. 15 minus 12 is 3, minus 1 to 2. So if I go, oh, wait a sec. There. So if I go down 3 strings and cross the fault line, the 2 note away major second, which could also be called the 2 note away major 9, is on the same fret. But if I didn't cross the fault line, which would happen if I was on like the top string, then then it would be back 1. So like here. And I'm going to cross the fault line 2 out of the 3 possible ways. Because like if I was down here, I could still go down 3 strings and I would cross the fault line. Like if I was here. But I can't go down 3 strings if I was on the G string. Why? Because I run out of real estate. By real estate, I mean strings. The fault line is here. It shifted up. Everything below the fault line, it fell into the ocean, just like California is going to do one of these days. God's just going to say, I've had enough. I've had enough. And the whole thing's just going to fall into the ocean. No, that's not going to happen. Stop being, it'll be okay. So we're going to, so if we go down 3 strings, the general rule, if you go down 3 strings, then the 2 note away major second or 2 note away major 9 is going to be 1 fret back unless you cross the fault line, which happens 2 out of the 3 times that you can go down 3 strings, in which case, if you go down 3 strings and cross the fault line, the 2 note away major second or 2 note away major 9 will be on the same fret. Let's do the next one. So now let's say that we go down 4 strings, and we're looking for the G whiz over here. All right, so I could do this by going up a string. So I could say, well, I know this is the same E as here, even though it's a different octave. So if I found like the note up here, then it would be the same down there. So I could be like 2 note away major second. But if I go above, I have to look for the inverse distance, which is 12 minus 2, which is 10. So then I'd have to say like this is -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. And if that's the G, then that must be the G. Both of those G's would then be a 2 note away major second if I think of it as a circle, not getting into octaves from that F. But I could count it down this way too, which means it would be 5, 10, fault line going up here to 15. 15 minus 12 is 3, plus another 5 is 8, and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 to get to that same one. Therefore, if I go down 4 strings, the 2 note away major second will always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets back without any exception, because if I was up like on this string up top, then I'd have to still cross the fault line if I went down 4 strings. And if I was below that string, I'd run out of real estate, because when the earthquake happened and like shifted this tectonic plate to the right, everything below it fell into the ocean. And so there's nothing, so there's no more real estate, because the houses, they didn't just burn, they fell in they fell into the ocean, which is even worse, if you can believe it. And so they're gone right there. That's my that's just the story I have in my mind. It's a very vivid story. That's not like a real thing. That's like a learning visualization that I find effective. Let's stop it here. Let's try to do all the rest of them next time. Otra vez. I feel like I feel like I need to stop.